Of you so. We're going to learn a song together today. It's going to involve a little bit of gestures, etc. So I'm going to invite you, as you're able, to stand. And we're going to say first, Spirit, weave our circle tight. Can you say that with me? Spirit, weave our circle tight. Then hold us in your holy light. Earth, air, fire. Oops, I did that wrong. Earth, air, fire, water. Bind us to you. Oh, we've got that gesture down perfectly. So let's try. I'm going to sing. You can join me whenever you can. Spirit, weave our circle tight. Hold us in your holy light. Earth, air, fire, and water. Bind us to you. Sorry, I got that. Spirit, weave our circle tight. Hold us in your holy light. Earth, air, fire, and water. Bind us to you. Now sing it with gusto. Spirit, weave our circle tight. Hold us in your holy light. Earth, air, fire, and water. Bind us to you. Then we'll sing. Dear friends, let me tell you how I feel. You have given me such treasure. I going to do that again, and I'm going to invite my buddy Jonathan to actually sing it as a round. How's that? Dear friends, let me tell you how I feel. You have given me such treasure. I love you so. Look at your friends. Sing to your friends. Dear friends, let me tell you how I feel. You have given me such treasure. I love you so. I love you so. I love you so. Take a breath and let it out. Take a breath. Let it out. Take a breath for everyone with whom you walk and move to the side. And let it out. From earth to sky, take a breath. And now, stick out your tuchus and have a seat. It's a very religious place where you're allowed to say tuchus. Ooh, forgive me, my computer decided it was going to do something different. Here we go. We are the Unitarian Universalist congregation at Shelter Rock. We practice a religion that values diversity and inclusivity. We treasure all that science teaches us, and inspired by human thought and bold action, we hope that you may find us a welcoming place. I'm David Carl Olson, Associate Minister for Congregational Life, and I serve with my colleague, Reverend Israel Bufardi, under the faithful direction of our lead minister, Reverend Dr. Natalie Fenimore. So in addition to these Sunday morning services in this worship room and online, hello people online, we gather for worship on the second Friday of most months in this musical and soulful way, where music resides at the heart of the religious experience. We are faithfully accompanied in this task by the cosmic orchestra. Here we are. And we allow a little bit of applause. I'll try to be the comic and they can be the cosmic. Ben Wish on keyboards, Ramona Dunlop today vocals, Eugene Ruffalo vocals and guitar, Andy Stack on guitar, Jonathan Predis guitar and cello today, yes, cello, Pat Falco on bass, and at the drums, Chris Marshak. Let's say thank you. Now, this morning, you may have expected to see Om Prakash, Reverend Dr. John Gilmore, accompanying me. However, he's going to be here, but because he tested positive for COVID-19 a few days ago, he's going to be joining us via video from his home in the Philadelphia suburbs. We wish Dr. Gilmore every blessing in his recovery. Music is the powerful medium that will cross all boundaries among us from here to Philadelphia and beyond. Music opens us up, matches and stirs our heartbeat, puts us in touch with our feelings. That's where I hope we'll be this morning. That's where I hope we'll allow ourselves to go. So, let's light the chalice. Blessed is the match consumed in kindling flame. Blessed is the flame that stirs in the heart's secret places. Blessed is the heart with strength to stop its beating for honor's sake. Blessed is the match, blessed is the match, consumed in kindling flame. Thank you to Hannah Senesh. In this congregation, at the beginning of our time together, we state boldly the affirmation of our faith. May I invite you to stand in body and spirit as you are able and say our words of affirmation. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need. This do we affirm and covenant with each other. Now, you know that we come to church to learn, or come to services to learn crazy trivia. When these songs from All That Dwell Below the Skies were originally sung, they didn't believe in instruments in the worship room. So they sang everything a cappella, and that's what we're going to do today. Now, if some instruments join us, well, maybe that'll happen. But for us, we're just going to have a fun time singing a cappella our song of affirmation to the tune of the Old Hundredth. We're going to start here. Is that good? From all that dwell below the skies, let songs of faith and hope arise. Turn the page, let peace, goodwill on earth be sung, through every land, by every tongue. Beautiful. Please be seated. Another way we can open up our hearts is by, Dr. Gilmore, I believe you have a reading for us.
Good morning, everyone. The following reading comes from a book called Mother Earth Spirituality by Ed McGaw, also known as Eagle Man. Ed writes, "The limitations of space and time prevent us from comprehending with any certainty the nature of the spirits who come to us. In the end, we can only surmise their nature and purpose, although it is my belief that basing our assumptions on natural evidence is the best way. Plato's allegory of the cave offers an explanation of human limitations as related to afterlife. He set a scene of some slaves, fettered as in prisoners within a cave. They were forced to sit in such a way that they always faced a high wall on which shadows were reflected. They spent their lifetimes from birth to death within the cave, facing the wall. A roadway passed before the entrance to the cave. Across the roadway was a fire large enough to cast on the wall the shadows of all things that moved along the roadway. As travelers passed by on the roadway, their shadows appeared on the wall. Some walked by alone, others in large groups, still others in families with children and relationships and their pack animals. Sometimes a chariot would rumble by, casting a different kind of shadow, or a rider would come along, and his shadow would appear on the cave wall. The slaves sat through their entire lives unable to see themselves or each other, able only to see the shadows that were cast on the wall. This was their only understanding of reality, and their concept of life was based only on what they could see. They could have no comprehension of the true or complete reality. If these slaves were once released from their captivity and taken to the entrance of the cave, they could look at the real life figures on the roadway, and through this new knowledge realize that their vision had been limited by what they could interpret from the shadows on the wall. The released slaves could look down at the city where the road led to, and they would begin to learn much more about the world. Plato said that life today is but a mere shadow on a wall compared to complete reality that lies beyond. This does not mean that we should not study and reflect while we are here. By all means, we should. We should be tugging and twisting ourselves against the darkness around us so that we can be free enough to get a glimpse of the higher plane. But when we become spirit, we will learn immeasurably more than we can comprehend now. And that, once again, is Ed McGaw, Eagle Man.
Watching the world from our window light, can we see all there is that is real, that is right, to the distance so far from our true understanding, making us want more, making us see less, the fire, making me clear, making me fly, spinning me round and round, spinning me round the fire within your eyes. This mystic time I've known before, once before the flame within my heart. Agreements made, I'm now realized like before. Speaking of words, driven far apart, how the innocence crushes the nature of things to the point that we lose. Oh, we're trying to gain, making us want more, making us see less, the fire, making us clean, making us fly, spinning us round and round, spinning us round the fire within your eyes. This mystic time I know before, once before the flame within my heart. Agreements made, I now realize like before. us clear, making us fly, spinning us round and round, spinning us round the flame, making us clear, making me fly, spinning me round and round, spinning me round. Agreements of trust. Under the power of love we see. Agreements of faith. Under the power of love we know. Agreements of truth. Under the power of love we feel. Agreements of love. Under the power of love we see. Agreements of liberty. Under the power of love we know. Agreements to set you free. Under the power of love we feel. Agreements of trust. Under the power of love we see. Agreements of faith. Under the power of love we know. Agreements of trust.
What you hear today was selected by Dr. Gilmore. John Gilmore is a Unitarian Universalist minister and a spiritual director. He also is the co-chair of our National Earth-Based Traditions Working Group, CUPS, the Covenant of Unitarian Universalist Pagans. It was as our Earth-Centered Traditions working group has been thinking about how we love this earth that we possess and steward, walk lightly on, both in this 100 acres and out in the world. We imagined that it would be helpful for us to hear from a leading Unitarian Universalist pagan. Dr. Gilmore is both African American and has Native American roots, and so his connection with the earth has a beautiful particularity. Another way we can open up our hearts, which is part of what we're doing today, is by attending to the needs of the larger human family of which we are a part. We take a special collection which extends our vision of beloved community by supporting the work in the world which addresses human need. This month's collection supports the Pink Haven Coalition, which partners with the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee to assist with the urgent task of relocating trans and gender-expansive people from unsafe states to safer ones in the United States. As anti-trans legislation continues to create a community of internally displaced people within the United States, the need for congregations and communities to offer support and welcome is increasing. And so I'm going to invite you in the ways that are listed in your order of service and up on the screens to please give as generously as you can. We now have a time for meditation that Dr. Gilmore will lead.
Greetings, following meditation is from Rumi. We'll have a reading and then a brief moment of silence, and we will finish with the chant Om Mani Padme Hum, which celebrates the jewel at the center of the lotus blossom, which is each and every one of us. The reading, title, Why and Where We Go. You are more beautiful than soul, more useful than eyes. Whatever I've seen in myself, I didn't see it. You saw. You chose me. I say this poem to honor that choice. I chose to lie down in a burning coffin bed. Ask my eyes, why do you flow? Ask my back, why so bent? Ask my soul, why do you wear iron shoes on the road? Also ask my soul if it has met another like you, or heard of such a thing in any language. You're the sun dissolving, dull overcast, the fragrance of the field, Joseph emerging from his room, peeling oranges. We see you and nick our hands without touching the ground. You drew a line. We turn that way. You're why and where we go and what we do there. A moment of silence. And you may join me in this chant if you would like. Goes Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Shanti. 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 Shanti.
We're going to take a moment as the Cosmic Orchestra plays to continue to be in that meditative space, but also to perhaps be in a youthful place. I want you to think, as you who care to come forward to light a candle, to think about your own formation. What is it that made you who you are? Who were you as a kid? Who were you as a teenager? What did you learn as you became a young adult? If you've arrived at middle age, what brought you to that place? What were the jewels that led you to this moment? If you are a person of great age and deep wisdom, what made you that way? Right? Listen to your heart, be kind to yourself, think your thoughts, feel your feelings, say thank you to life, gracias a la vida, Violeta Parra once sang. Come alone if you care to, come holding a friend's hand, share space, and allow for some emotion. And I think someone's going to sparkle.
On a golden sky, you're my sparkle.
Now you should all be smiling. Not that I'm going to tell you, but you should all be smiling. And let's carry the energy of sparkle, of youthfulness, of deep thought into a message from Dr. Gilmore.
I watch a lot of videos on spirituality and various religions, always trying to learn more about everything that I see. And I am very glad that I have chosen Unitarian Universalist as a path, mainly because of its use of reason. You see, as a Unitarian Universalist, no matter what path I explore, for me, it has to be rooted in reality, or the effect that it has in reality. I see a lot of things posted lately about perception, and some people say that we're in a world that's just a simulation and it doesn't exist, and if we change our perception, things outside will change. We can change our whole world if we change our perception. That's only partially true, and it's very simplistic. If one of us goes to a hypnotherapist and gets hypnotized over and over, and they tell us that a bus is just a hot dog, and we go out in the street and we step out in front of this bus thinking it's a hot dog, there will be a disaster. And it's the same with this idea that our perception changes the world. What happens is that our perception changes our perception of the world. It changes our idea about the world. And when we interact with it in a different way because of an idea about the world that changes in a very deep subconscious level, things begin to work differently. But this change, this new world comes not from just changing our perception. No, it comes from something called changing our behavior. An example, I knew a person once who had the best of intentions. He was very interested in spirituality and religion. He was raised in a household of Pentecostals. His mother and many people on her side were these religious Pentecostals, and they taught him about Jesus and God and all of these things. He found it hard to accept. Later, he did dream work, took on many mystical practices by himself because there was no teacher there in a poor neighborhood. He ended up going to college and studying Eastern spirituality, fell in love with Taoism and Zen Buddhism, and then later in his life, he became a born-again Christian. But he was different than the others, you see, because when he read the things in the New Testament, what he saw was Taoism. He saw all of the many statements that were there in Buddhism that were condensed in a way for the Western mind to understand. He saw all of these miracles and all of these things as ways of being at peace in the world and being in a balanced state, and he thought that spreading this news, spreading these ideas could help change the world, could help bring people peace, and could do the most important thing, help people accept the fact that they were not evil, sinful people, but that they were beautiful people, powerful people, and they did not have to be redeemed. But when he later went on to working in a missionary headquarters, he slowly found that the missionaries didn't see it that way. The head of the headquarters was screaming once, almost crying, that if he didn't do the work of being a missionary, God would kill him. And this person was shocked to think that a person was going out on the field because he was afraid of God killing him. And the next big shift happened in his life when he was working, raking leaves in October, November, with no coat, with rain pouring down on him. He got sick. He was lying in his bed at night, sleeping near a wood fire because he had to go out during the day and find wood in order to heat the house that he was living in. The rats were crawling all through the walls, and he sat there praying, looking for the truth, hoping for the truth, thinking that he had to dedicate himself to God. And then there was a dream. This figure, like an angel, came to him in this dream and said, "Come with me, I'll show you what it's all about." So he went down into the yard. There was a fire burning. He and the angel stepped into the fire. The fire hurt and scorched him. It was painful. And there was a saying, "Present yourself as a living sacrifice," that went along with it. And then as they ascended up into the heavens, he saw a big altar, and this angel said, "Go stand behind that altar." And when he went behind the altar, he could hear all of the prayers, all of the pain, all of the suffering, all over the world, and all of these people seeking to end their pain. And this thing said, that's what it's really all about. And so his perception, you see, of God began to change. This was followed up when he finally left the missionary place. He didn't have any place there anymore. And he was lying in bed thinking that he had betrayed God, had given up on God, a God who he sworn his allegiance to. And while he was sleeping, a strange thing happened. He had a dream about God singing to him. It was strange because of the words of the song. In a golden sky, you must not go flying high. Love's vibrations start to rise, energized with love's direction. Now we're traveling. Our cares unraveling, flying high. You and me, feeling free along love's highway. Love forever involves magical moments together. The fire to ignite, melodies tonight. Birds can only sing the songs we write. Harmonies in tune. Depth pervades the room. Sparkle, you're so very lovely in my sight. And it just amazed him. Sparkle, you're so lovely in my sight. Give me a sign and be my Valentine. Let the arrows full of light pierce the night with love's affection, moving faithfully and making history. Fragments of your loving smile, a little while will last forever. And this was supposed to be a voice from this hateful, angry God that ordered children be slaughtered, ordered nations to be swept away. And for the first time he realized, you see, that his misperception of the divine had driven him into the wrong place. And he realized that one needs to not have any perception when it comes to the divine, because one perception only gets in the way of the real. The real is something that is only experienced when we slap a name on it, and when we slap a face on it, something happens. We diminish it, and we begin to tap into our thoughts and ideas that we've been socialized to, and we make that thing, whatever it is, into a God. And therefore it's better to have no perception, to live in the now, to experience the wisdom and the beauty and the truth as it comes along. So that whatever name we give this thing, or however we identify with it, we realize that the name is not the thing. We realize that the Tao is the mother of all creation, but the Tao cannot be named. We have to get beyond our dualistic tendencies in our society that says everything has a 1 or 0 or A or B, and realize that that's not true. We have to realize that things can exist and cannot exist at the same time. And the things that exist can be our perceptions, and the way we work to make those perceptions true in the world, and the way we influence people can make them exist. But at the same time, they may not be real. I'm sure that many of us can think of things right now that we thought were real so long, and we work to promote them the enslavement of black people, the murder of indigenous people, even the things going on in Gaza. And we made up reasons to think that we had a good reason to do these things, and then generations later, our descendants point out the fact that our reasons were fantasies. And so today, I think it is most important for us to remember, you see, that which is called spirituality is beyond our understanding and is a experiential thing. And we must realize that all of the words we use, the music, the movement, and dance, is to bring us to a higher state where we enter into the reality where we experience living as our whole true selves. Quantum physicists call it the ground of being. Taoists call it the Tao. The Buddhists call it the universal mind. There are many different names for the same thing, and that same thing is recognizing that we are greater than we have been told. Realizing that we, in this body, with our thought processes, with our biology of more than 200 trillion cells, working and coordinating with each other and communicating with each other faster than the speed of light, along with our gut bacteria that is living within us and somehow communicating with the cells and the tons of germs around the body, like a halo, all communicating together. These things are a miracle, and in the physical realm, we are as great as we are in the mental realm and the energetic realm, all made of fractals, all made of waves of energy only separated by fields. We must realize who we are, and as our friend says, we should live what is known as a life of virtue. And all that virtue means is living a life in accord with what we know to be true, as Brian Swim puts forward. So I invite you to join me and live this life in accord with what we know to be true. And what we know to be true is this: you are a miracle. You are the light and wonder of the world. You are the beauty that you seek, and the love and peace. And you seek those things not because you lack them, but because you want to reconnect with that self that has been covered over and hidden through all of the competition, socialization, and negative behavior modification in a system that tells us that the human being is just a machine created in order to perpetuate a system and in order to create goods and services for those at the top. Thank you for being with me today, and may the love that you are overwhelm you, surround you, and keep you from this day forward and evermore. Namaste, everyone.
As we prepare to leave this place, may I invite you to lengthen your day and to be prepared to come back next week for things that are a little out of the ordinary, just like today has been a little out of the ordinary. After this morning's service, I want to invite you to walk the labyrinth on the lawn and to walk in the walkways in our woods. And if you care to stay until about 2 o'clock. The labyrinth, which we've created as a temporary labyrinth, is made out of straw. And just as a Tibetan monk may spend some time building a sand mandala, at a certain point, part of the blessing is to destroy it as a reflection of temporality. We'll destroy our labyrinth at about 2 o'clock, but that won't be the end of the labyrinth, because the materials that we pile up will be given to Rewild Long Island, and they will be using it to mulch plants, as they've been helping us to rewild part of our woods. Next week, in order to allow room, that this room could be for warming up for our wonderful concert next weekend, which I know we're all going to be at, we'll have our morning service in the Beach House Ballroom. We'll have a special morning of celebrating the first fruits of the season. And I'm going to invite you, if you are a home gardener, to bring something from your garden that you can exchange with someone. One of the things that you may have seen in our solstice celebrations is we talk about a good for a good. And so one of the notions in earth-based spirituality is that because the season has been good, then we have to be good, right? So we've received a good from the weather that has brought us this first fruits, and we're going to exchange those fruits with other people, a good for a good. And whether it's fruits or fungi or flowers, anything that's herbs, medicinals, things that are growing in your garden, bring them, and we'll share them with one another as part of our first fruits celebration next weekend. And so, as we come to extinguish our chalice, do we have one more song? Yeah. Let's hear the song before we extinguish the chalice. Yes, let's hear the song before we extinguish the chalice. And I know this is one you're going to want to dance to, so please do.
Sometimes it's hard to make things clear, but I know when you face the truth, and I know that the moment is here. I'll open my heart, show you inside. My love has no pride, and I feel with you I got nothing to hide. So open your eyes, see who I am, and not what you want me myself, oh myself. I don't wanna lose you now. We're gonna get through somehow. I don't wanna lose you now forever. We all lose our way. stood the test of time, yet I hope so it will stay. It's all up to you to tell me to go home, 'cause it won't be me to walk away. You're all that I know. Oh, I know. I don't wanna lose you now. I'm gonna get through somehow. I don't wanna lose you now or never. Maybe I finally found the courage to stand my ground. If you want me, I'll be around forever. I don't wanna lose you, losing out. Gonna get through somehow. I don't wanna lose you now. No. I don't wanna lose you, losing out. We're gonna get through somehow. I don't wanna lose you now, forever.
The Cosmic Orchestra. And so, may I say the words that I bet some of you already have memorized. If you needed to look at them, you'd look at the gray hymnal in the back at number 456. Will you rise and say these words with me? And if you are here with a friend and you both agree, hold their hand. We're in this together, friends, and we don't want to lose each other. But we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.